Ladies and gentlemen, hi, and welcome back to Disco Elysium. Do hope you had a lovely Christmas and all that jazz, and soon to be New Year and all those good things. So, to recap what we did last time, talked to the Hardy Boys, found out a bunch of mischief and nonsense from them, and we talked to Everard Clare, who's typing away on his old typewriter over yonder. He asked us to basically go across the bridge and get some signatures, of which of course we won't do because we're not filthy communists, but we do have his white envelope that we can have a little look in, so while we're here, let's have a quick gander at it.
You take the legal documents out of the envelope, a 12 to 40 month construction period, and the zoning plan in the addendum.
Look at the zoning plan.
The youth centre cuts into the ocean like the bow of some great modern ship. Apparently, it's going to cover most, if not all, of the street and the square between the existing houses. It's 3 stories tall. It's going to be awfully close to the already existing buildings, almost wall to wall, practically integrating them into the youth centre. This is either an ominous or cool architectural choice. Hard to say. My money is on cool. Looks like a cubic pyrite.
Well, like I said last episode, youth centres have a tendency to encapsulate all around them. Not an always nice way. Kim, what do you think of this?
I'm no property lawyer, but it looks fine. I like the print size. They're not selling or leasing anything. It's not a perfect solution, but...
He shrugs. Let's use our logic to try and find a loophole in the deal.
There is no loophole. The simple truth is, the current residents are going to lose their street access, and for the next 12 to 40 months, their lives will be dominated by constant construction noise right next door.
Ah, that sounds like Hull City Centre whenever the council want to repave the paving or build blooming, or what are they called? Cycle lanes on the roads. Look, Kim, point at the first copy. These people are going to have to move away. Can we do something about it?
I should have seen it.
The lieutenant frowns as he reads over the document again.
Everard probably has eyes on us, but we could try to get other people to sign this instead of those listed. Or you could forge their signatures yourself. By the time he finds out, we'll already be gone.
Ooh.
However, we'll need access to the coast before we do anything. Everard won't believe you got villager signatures if you can't even get to the village. You can try a forgery as soon as we can cross the waterlock.
Sounds good to me. Put the documents back in the envelope. Okay, cool. We've got a couple of things that we can also interact with. I've got a map of Martinez. Let's have a gander at that.
The worn map features the patchwork grid of the streets of Martinez, with directions to appropriately touristy locations. Year 48 resides on the upper right corner.
Trace a path through the grid.
Your finger moves through the various streets, across Rue de Saint-Ghislain and Rue Saint-Sipar, over Saint-Brun and Martinez North, finally coming to a halt on the spot where you are currently standing, although the map gives no such indication itself.
Exciting stuff. We also have a book, but we're not going to read a book because we have got an investigation to do. And that is what we intend to solve. Murders, shenanigans, all that. Document forgery. So, yeah, so what do we know so far? We know that the Hardy Boys are not being honest. Well, I mean, they say that they've killed him, but they say that they killed him by hanging him. Which we know is not correct, because we found a bullet in his head, and there is also no signs of him trying to fight back. We know he's part of some sort of mercenary gang. Well, not a gang, like a professional mercenary group that have done some very shady things in the past. We've spiked their food with vodka, so they might be drunk, might be more supple to our probing. Everett said that we've got some authority over them now, I do believe, so we should be able to shout at them.
What is it?
Okay. Oh, we can't establish authority. Come on. Me and Everett talked. He promised you'd cooperate.
Oh, so you went and talked to my mommy. And now she's making me play with you. Is that it, lawman?
And what's gonna happen if we don't? You gonna go and tell on us?
Oh dear, oh dear. This is not as going as well as I thought it was going to go. Very mature, guys. Everard sent word, right?
Yeah, I heard him. Now fuck do you think I'm doing here? You'd have your ass handed to you if it wasn't for the boss man's word. Let me state this very clearly, capo. Hello, officer. I'm Titus Hardy, and these are my boys, Hardy boys. How may we assist you?
Explosive laughter follows. To his men, Titus Hardy is a golden god. They want to laugh at his jokes even before they leave his lips. This guy is a born leader.
Well, he might be a born leader, but so are we. Well, maybe not born leader, but we're approaching leadership. Let's establish authority.
As you look around this room full of sweaty men, swearing, drinking, spitting out tobacco, does this look familiar?
Where have I seen this before?
You believe the place was called Precinct 41. It was also filled with, almost exclusively, men, sitting on desks, talking shit and wasting time.
Those pesky men, what are they like? I get it, Titus. You guys really are the authority around here.
Huh?
You must be. You just like real cops, drinking beer and sitting around with your dicks in your hand.
You got a problem with beer now?
Not quite there yet. Push on.
Okay, let's have a look. Let's go with... No, I'm also a big fan of beer and jerking off instead of helping people.
You saying we don't help people? I've been doing this job for 10 years. Martinez was a dump before we put this outfit together.
They don't know, man. They weren't here. We had 3 shootings a week, kids dead, fucking graffito everywhere. You cops haven't shown up since the 30s.
Congratulations on the graffiti removal. All I see is you sitting around talking about Monica's titties while there's a rape victim.
So what? What do you want from me? We took care of that fuck.
He picks the beer back up.
Don't let him drink that. One more push. Quick. Just don't antagonize him. You have this already.
Right, let's be as least antagonizing as possible. It's not about who did it, it's about the victim. She needs help.
Titus?
He looks at her.
She stops mid-sentence. That's it. You got him. He's going to give it up, but on his terms.
You wanna help her, cop? Fine. I'm gonna let you help her, but you treat her with respect. If you don't, if you question her, harass her, a freight train of pain, buddy.
What is her name?
Lieutenant talks out of his... oh, sorry. I read that as Lieutenant talks out of his nerves. No, the Lieutenant takes out his nerves.
Claudia, I'm on due. She's staying here at the Whirling in Rags, a real pretty one. Silvery jumpsuit, blonde. That's I'm on due, with an O-U.
Shit. The girl. The girl upstairs? That can't be her. She knows you drank so hard you forgot you were a cop.
Oh, it's her! It's definitely her! It's Miss Oranje, disco dancer!
Oh, yeah, I do quite like that name, Horrific Necktie. Composure, can we? Let's... let's not try and keep our cool, shall we? Class A, correct your tie.
Yeah. Blonde. Tall. 2 rooms over from yours.
You know what, I don't want to call Miss Oranje Disco... We've got 3% on this. What could possibly go wrong?
You inexplicably add cool after the victim's name, with your eyes bulging like some wild beast. Your fingers are fidgeting and sweat starts forming on your brow as Titus looks at you oddly.
We don't really have our ways with women, do we? We're not exactly Mr. Charismatic over here.
I don't understand what's so cool here.
Nothing. We just have a few more questions. Then we'll be on our way.
Whatever you do not tell him you know her. That would sound off.
Okay then, right, let's... so what was her relationship with the mercenary?
Relationship? There was no fucking relationship. He raped her. That's their relationship.
Was like that karaoke incident all over again. Or like some of the other girls he was harassing.
Okay, enough. All of this is irrelevant to your stated investigation.
That is a good point, Elizabeth. I don't think that anything I say here will add to our current situation. I'm going to walk away from this. Thank you. We'll talk to her.
Remember what I said. Freight train of pain.
He points his beer can at you. I'm going to take off now. Goodbye. Alright, okay, so the lady that we talked to at the very beginning of the game, she is in fact the victim.
Officer, what was that?
Oh dear. You mean the sweating and the fidgeting when he mentioned her name?
Yes.
And the sort of quivering jello thing with the eye. Point to your twitching eye.
Yes.
I think I know that woman.
The victim? Is there something I should know before we talk to her?
Let's have a look. She knows I did some pretty crazy stuff before I passed out. I partied hard, and not very mentally healthy.
So she overheard you? Or did you party together?
So this is what it feels like to be interviewed.
I've got nothing to hide, Inland Empire.
What if you do, but you just don't remember that you do?
Oh, that's a very good point, actually.
You'll get through it, you slippery fuck! Blast some insano at him! Throw him off!
Best... The Horrific Necktie is the best character in the entirety of this game, I do have to say. She overheard me listening to music and doing weird things from her room. It's the one next to yours.
Anything else?
I asked her where we are, what city this is, maybe even what year, something like that.
That's clearly your interrogation technique. Anything else?
I met her in the hallway after I woke up.
Understood. You were not in good shape on Monday.
And she knows I didn't remember being a cop.
Okay, that's manageable.
I don't think we need to tell her that we didn't rape her because that's clearly we're not. Nothing, let's move on.
We'll be alright, officer. This is nothing.
You feel fortified by his assurance. It's going to be alright.
You know what, if Kim's on our side, what could possibly go wrong? Okay, so her room is up here. And I do believe it is this one.
The door is closed.
Knock.
Who is it?
A woman's voice answers, muffled by the door.
Tired. Controlled.
This is the police. Can we come in?
Come on up. The door is open. I'm drying my hair.
Alright, okay. So she lets us in. And we're not gonna... a pile of dirty clothes, a woman's. We're not gonna take anything. Hotel bill calculations look like she's had an extended stay. Yeah, we're not gonna take anything, necessarily. And the room has sad all over it. Reminds you of your own. There we go, kindred spirits. You feel someone watching you behind the glass door, a woman. The bed has been hastily made. The smell of cigarette smoke in the air. Astra, menthol. Ugh. There's one type of cigarettes I do not like, it is menthol. Coffee, cold coffee and an ashtray that looks like a hedgehog. What about you? Before we talk to her, I want to have a good look at everything. Look, a handful of dried white wildflowers.
Just as you look at the flowers, a gust of wind raises them from the roof, picking them up in the air.
Move your hand, fast.
You catch a single white flower between your fingers. The rest fly off into the wind. It's a Maybell. The young woman looks at the Maybell in your hand. Just a glance, then takes a drag of her cigarette. The lieutenant gives you an acknowledging little nod.
Just acknowledging how fast-handed we are. Okay then, Miss Discotheque.
Welcome to the roof.
The young woman has a cigarette in one hand and a cup of coffee in the other.
Below her silvery jumpsuit, an athletic young body. built long and lean.
I'm sorry for the mess down there. The cleaning lady hasn't come by in days. I'm beginning to wonder if she ever will.
Casual small talk. Nice view you've got here.
It's much nicer now.
Her eyes wander north toward the yard.
Where the dead body used to hang, clearly visible from the roof, but no longer.
Thank you for that, officers. Truly.
There is something in her light brown eyes, a sadness, when she thinks about the death of that man.
You mentioned a cleaning lady. I think I need one.
Oh, yes. Legends of room number 1 have made their way around the building. They say a portal to hell has opened in there.
Disco Infernum.
They also say that's why the cleaning lady quit. Because of the Infernum.
I'm Kim Kitsuragi. I'm a detective from Precinct 57. I believe you have already met my colleague from Precinct 41.
Have I ever? This is the biggest fan of ostentatious orchestrations I have seen in my life. And I have seen a few. Oh yeah. Life gets hard, but we go on.
It's gotten pretty hard to remember in the meantime, but I go on.
I can see that. I'm glad all this onward going has brought you to me.
Miss, we are investigating the murder of the man down there. The people who put him there have asked us to talk to you.
Huh. I see.
She takes a pensive drag of her menthol cigarette.
Be careful. Ask something else first. When you go there, use words like, I hear you have been through something difficult.
Okay, let's be cautious. Let's not go straight in there. What is your name, miss? For the record.
Clausier Amondou.
And where are you from?
Vredefort, Republic of Oranje.
I'm not going to ask her how old she is, because rule number 1, never ever ever ask a woman her age. And if she asks you to guess, always say 21. That's what I've learned in my time as a human being. What do you do, miss? What is your specialisation?
Something stupid.
What's that?
Oranese lit.
Oranese lit?
Oranese literature. It's what I studied at the university.
She raises both eyebrows. Oh, got to be classier. I also studied something useless at university. What is Oranese literature about?
Fear of failure, fear of death, how it sucks to be Oranese. All national literatures are. Only the name of the nation changes.
If that's true, then Revacholian lit would fit you like a glove.
Revacholian lit sounds like some sort of slang that the teenagers use that I don't understand anymore. I won't ask her what she does with it, because that'd just be not good. Thank you. That's it for the record.
The record. So official.
It's a nice room we've got here.
Yeah. It's pretty deluxe.
No one likes to talk about their dirty laundry and their empty bottles. Maybe if you phrase it emotionally.
Hate to say it, but you've got sad all over the place.
Yeah. I've contaminated it pretty bad.
Is that why you're out here?
The contamination spreads from room to room. First, I escaped upstairs. The sad got that too. Then I found the handle for the summer door.
Got it.
It's mostly about the lack of cleaning services. And an abundance of me.
What are you doing here in the whirling in rags?
I'm wintering.
How long have you been staying here?
About 4 months. I came in November.
Why here?
Here in the Whirling, here in Martinez, or here in Revachol?
Suppose all of them are here in the whirling.
Because it's the funkiest building in Martinez. And because all the other buildings are bombed to hell.
Okay. I have other questions for you.
Okay.
They've actually voice acted the smoking of a cigarette. I appreciate that little touch of detail. What is this wildflower? Show her the flower.
She looks at the dried petals in your palm, then lightly touches one with her fingernail.
Pretty. Looks like a dried maybell. Is that the one you caught? Sambo style?
What's Sambo?
A martial art, sir. Is that it?
Samurai boxing, or sambo, graceful martial arts stuff. Sambo style implies stealth and cool.
Well, I'm not sure about stealth, but we're definitely cool. Yes, why was it there?
Why was there a flower on the roof? I don't know, officer. Because of the wind?
Or an admirer?
Any admirers, miss?
Admirers? I'm too old to be a debutante. And this place is no fashionable society.
Okay, right, we've made as much small talk as we can. They tell us you've been through something difficult.
Something difficult? I've been through at least half a dozen difficult things. Which one do you mean?
Oh dear. I don't want to skirt around it. We're just going to go straight for it. Have you been,
It's a bit early in the morning for rape.
She sounds positively buoyant, vivacious, totally unbothered.
Well, first and foremost, it's not morning, it's 6 minutes to 2. Oh, we can actually mention that to her. Actually, it's already afternoon.
Is it?
Squinting, she takes a look around. The spring sun is high in the sky. People pass below.
It is afternoon. Time flies, man.
So were you?
Yeah. I'm gonna go with not raped. I don't want to say that shit about him.
By him, she must mean the victim.
Tell them it's not my style. They'll have to, if they want to jazz up the charges, they'll have to get someone more, rapeable.
Are you saying that you were asked to tell us you were assaulted?
Not explicitly, but I understood what they meant. It wouldn't hurt to spice things up a bit. Some assault and battery. Sexual assault, maybe. It was clear the latter would be spicier.
Right, so even that's a lie. Ah. So... okay, that changes things. What did they hang him for, if not rape?
He had something to do with the strike. One has been roiling since I got here. Rotten timing. But you probably know all about it.
And his role in this strike was what?
I think he was in a security detail. He was ex-military, worked for Wild Pines, and against the Union. We didn't discuss work much, if you know what I mean. But I understood it was dangerous.
And they lynched him for it?
She nods.
Ah, so it was something to do with the strike. So all this self-policing nonsense has all been a lie. Let's go. We've got the why was there a bullet in his head. I think that'll be a good final punch. But let's see what we can talk about before then. What did happen between you and the victim?
We partied.
What kind of partying? Point to your bloated face. The kind I do?
With all due respect, sir, I think we partied a little harder than that.
Now that's saying something. No one parties harder than me.
Please, you're alive in 50. I've known people who party so hard they're dead at 14.
She stops to take a drag.
What no one does on your level is hitting the repeat button. I'll give you that. And maybe room trashing.
What did you do when you partied?
We drank, sir. A lot. For weeks, basically. We had that effect on each other. We made each other drink harder. That's why I liked him.
That does not sound like a stable relationship at all.
What else?
Stimulants. Speed also has that effect, making you drink harder. And then drinking harder makes you do more speed. It's quite the combination. We also had sex.
Ah, so sex, drugs, and more drugs. An infinite loop of sex and drugs. Were feelings involved?
A little. The drugs were good enough, and we did enough of them.
How did you two meet?
The lieutenant's voice is quiet, calm.
Downstairs, at the bar. He was on some sort of assignment, a military man, as you probably know. Had a cool, scary scar.
She appears aloof, but that scar part, the scary, is stressed and drawn out. What's that about? Apprehension? With longing. She misses him.
When was this?
A month ago? Something like that.
Ah, so they've been drinking and partying for a month together. Well, I mean, a month of speed and alcohol like she mentioned earlier, people partying so hard that they can't hit the replay button. I mean, well done, I suppose. Not to condone it, but good job, I guess. How do the Hardy Boys know you?
They're frequent guests downstairs. They have a booth for union members. They're probably down there now.
And how did you meet?
Over drinks. It's been a long, boring winter.
Did you party?
A little, yeah.
Like you partied with the deceased?
No, not as hard.
I'm sorry to have to ask this, but have you had a physical relationship with any of the Hardy Boys?
I have.
Which one?
Which ones, sir? I don't remember precisely. Titus, obviously. But as I said, it's been a long winter.
Could that have been part of the reason they hanged him?
Ooh, I don't want to say it. Oh, basically, I've been blessed not ever been in this situation, but I did meet one person who has been in a situation of they feel sad, and so they try and fill their heart with sex, drugs, anything that they can to replace or just make the sadness a little bit less, I suppose. So I don't really want to poke her anymore with this, but we are policemen. We are professionals. We need to consider every possibility. Could that be why they lynched him? Jealousy?
I hope not. Actually, I know that's not the reason. I'm careful about that kind of thing. Not crossing the wires, you know? But that's probably where they got the rape idea.
What do you mean?
Men like that? I don't know. It's the way their imaginations work. I suspect it's what they'd like to do to me.
Oh, dear.
She changes balance from one foot to another, crossing her legs.
This is an uncomfortable topic. It must have been hard for you, point to the yard, seeing him there.
Oh, yes. I've had a great view. From the roof, out of the bathroom window, in my dreams.
A bitter cringe. It hurts. You look to the lieutenant.
You called us, the RCM.
Yes.
Jackpot.
The call, reporting the hanging, was that you?
I made it. And I would appreciate it if you didn't tell everyone. In Martinez, they call it snitching.
Reporting crimes is confidential in Ravachol, miss.
Before we go on, if it's snitching, then why do it?
Because I couldn't handle it anymore. None of these people called. He just kept hanging there. Then they started stripping him.
The caller's voice was disguised.
I didn't exactly disguise it. I just muffled the mic and nicked the landline a little.
Nicked it how?
With nail clippers. And I diverted some radio fuzz into it. Into the cold wire.
Which landline?
The one downstairs, officer. I used the whirling landline.
That's some clever tampering. Simple and clever. Crossing the lines like that.
Seems like you had some idea. That was nifty.
Thanks.
She manages a smile.
She looks a bit like a little girl who's just been complimented on her bike repair skills.
Why go through all the trouble?
I don't know, sir. It was stupid. I was drunk, too. I was probably afraid the union was listening in. Locals say they have ears in the wires.
Thank you for making the call, miss. It was the right thing to do.
I didn't want to, sir. But if I hadn't, he'd still be hanging there.
So, she clearly didn't want him to die. But the guys down there want him to die for union reasons, I suppose. But then, why is she so... why is she willing to help them in any way, shape or form? Or even at least have the conversation about trying to help them? Something doesn't quite add up here. Why was there a bullet in his head?
Bullet? They shot him too?
I'm not picking up on any theatrecraft here, sir. The pause is sincere.
They stripped his clothes and they shot him?
You mean after they hanged him?
I'm confused, sorry.
So am I. Were you aware that he had also been shot, miss?
Things are starting to go a little over my head here. I thought he was hanged. I was not present when they did it. I don't know what happened. I just know what they told me. And Sylvie, the bartender.
It's hard to know what to think about that answer. She's just tired. Don't push her too much.
This is... I don't know, I'm still not buying it. It's a very general answer. What can you tell me about him? Name, eyes, age.
I'm sorry, I can't do it. Not right now. Later, maybe. I keep seeing him. Like he is now. I can't talk about his... I don't know. Hair.
Another puff. More nervous.
I know it's difficult, miss. We can return to it later.
She meant she sees him in her dreams.
I've also seen him in a dream.
You have? Not like I do, I imagine.
She runs out of cigarette. Time to light a new one.
She sees them in each other's arms.
You see each other... You're in each other's arms.
Yes. And then he's dead. His mouth agape.
She looks into the light green pack of cigarettes and pulls out another one, preparing to light it. I see him as me.
She dips the cigarette in the lighter's flame and inhales, then looks at you with her lungs full of smoke.
I can see the similarity, yes.
She breathes out through her nostrils. The air smells of menthol.
Funny.
Lieutenant says softly.
Funny how?
Nothing. I also saw him. We had a long inspection and that sort of thing sticks with you. Let's move on.
Ah, I wonder if Kim's going through his own emotional stories and stuff. Titus asked you to spice things up for us.
Pretty much.
She cradles her cup of coffee in both hands.
Warming them.
Right, well, we aren't getting much else from her. Thank you for telling us all of this, miss.
She breathes a silvery sigh of relief and weariness. The air on the roof feels humid.
Should we head by downstairs, officer? We may have things to discuss there.
I had something else before we go. A little thing.
She nods. Silvery cigarette fumes disappear into her mouth.
Ah, right. So we can look her in the eye. So there's probably something she's hiding. But I don't want to give it when our volition is this small.
Why not? I'll be here until 11 p.m. Drinking coffee, most likely.
Right, so we've got a chance to maybe see what's going on in her head. Let's see what's going on in our head first.
A bright light catches your eye, making you squint.
Where's it coming from?
From a distant sunset, a stage light, flash photography, nowhere in particular. It's just what superstar law officers do. They squint at lights, and they solve shit.
Actually, now that I hear superstar and law official in the sentence, they sound weird together.
What are you, deaf? They're perfect, like rockstar politician and drug addict teacher. Embrace the superstardom you've worked so hard to establish.
Drug addicted teacher, that is... not personally ever. But it's something I'm aware of. You've got the wrong impression. I'm no superstar, I'm trash. We're really being self-critical here.
Yeah, a cool, trash superstar. Big dick cop down on his luck. Salam Rocky by here. Badass on the edge disco cop. Time to recede into a ludicrous fantasy world. Here we go. Camera. Lights.
Wait, what's that about a ludicrous fantasy world?
Yeah, you know. Beneath it is just heartbreak. A pulmonary tract infection. Atherosclerotic disease. This is where you say action and reconceptualize all that. Reinvent it as the world's first celebrity police officer. This is the beginning of your legend.
Oh, I see, sir. We're trying to mask our sadness by pretending to be rock and roll and cool. No, I'm too downbeat. I won't say those things anymore. Wave off the fort. No, we're going to be miserable. That's our plan. So we got some dried May bells. God, that was difficult to say. But can we increase our volition? How much can we increase it by? Only one. Do we have any items that can increase our volition? Nope. 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 No. Certainly not. Absolutely not. Under no circumstances. No. And also no. Do you have anything that decreases it by any chance? No, so we're at maximum volition at the moment. But maybe we can learn some things earlier, well, in the future so we can increase our stuff. For thematic reasons, let's go through here, and then we will talk to Kim.
Looks like we have more to discuss with those so-called Hardy Boys. Half their reasoning just went out the window.
You think this will make them cooperate?
Nothing will make them respect the RCM, but it will disrupt the game they prepared for us. We just stripped off one layer of whatever it is. Her decision to not corroborate their story was definitely not part of the plan.
Say in a hushed voice, why did she tell us all of that?
What else could she have done? Lie? She saw there was no way to lie and get away with it.
I'm not sure she had to lie. I wouldn't have known.
If not you, then me. It was a smart move from her.
Something
You
is
think
off
so?
here.
She seems forthcoming. Unusually so. Being forthcoming about some things is a good way to obscure other things.
That's what I was thinking.
The best liars are always forthcoming. Anyway, we should move. I suspect our investigation will bring us back here soon enough.
Okay. Oh, there's a window that we can look at.
This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo.
Run your finger across the surface of the glass.
Smooth as ice. There are spots of mud and rain on the outside, even smudges. But the surface of the window is clear from the inside. No chips, no hairline fractures. Following your lead, the lieutenant leans in closer to inspect the surface.
This window was recently replaced.
Looks like it, yes.
You know which window has not been recently replaced?
The one I smashed in my room?
Yes, that one. Cold wind is seeping in right now. Just one floor below you. Messing up your concentration here.
Stop distracting him! He has work to do! Plus, if I recall, the window has been giving him shit ever since he got here!
That's correct. Windows and me are not friends. They're too see-through. Okay, alright. Well, before we go talk to Hardy Boys, let's go have a quick look around her showering facilities. See if there's anything suspect in there. You see the yard below, the cops are no longer there.
This medicine cabinet is full of wares. Sheets of pills, haphazardly stacked, one on top of the other. There's also a toothbrush somewhere in there.
Look at the toothbrush.
It's been used quite a lot.
Look at the medications.
Pharmaceuticals line the shelves. Sheet upon sheet of pill bottle next to pill bottle. Acetylic acid, APAP, eye drops, blood thinners.
There's quite a collection in here.
Anything of note?
Search the bottles.
Pill bottles rattle like bones as you search the cabinet. Paracetamol, histoparidol, something in a foreign language you can't read. Behind them, an unusually shaped nasal spray. Its label reads, Nacra.
What's Nacra?
An opioid receptor antagonist. It's used for diamorphine overdoses.
Oh. Search the pill sheets.
Among some foreign, probably Messinian or Gotwaldian, marked red blister packs you find. What do you find? This is going to take a little know-how.
Well, in theory, our character knows all about drugs. Is there something more interesting here?
A bright orange bottle with Preptide stamped on it, in sunny, happy letters. Jackpot, baby. That's the stuff you're looking for. Your palms begin to sweat just holding that little plastic container.
What's so exciting about this orange bottle?
It's speed, man. Just what you were looking for. They call it dextroamphetamine and talk about psychological disorders. But what we're seeing here is some scientifically advanced trucker speed.
Ah, super speed. Lieutenant, I also see a brand called Preptide.
Preptide, a euphemism for pharmaceutical amphetamine. Prescription speed.
The fuck are you waiting for? Let's get super fucking preppy.
No, we are clean. We do not do drugs. We are professionals in the field. Although I'll be honest, when I did play this game for the first time, I did all the bad things. And it is quite fun. But we are here to solve a murder this time. We're here for the emotions. We're here for the roller coaster of feelings. And you can't do that on speed. At least I assume you can't do it very well on speed. Or maybe it's too much emotions on speed.
It's you again. What is it?
Alright, let's blow this case wide open. Classier says she wasn't raped.
Fuck. I knew that fucking whore couldn't be trusted.
You've hit a nerve. Titus is furious. No, more than that. The loyal Titus feels betrayed.
Good.
For the record, Titus Hardy did not explicitly specify the victim as a whore, nor did he say anything about trusting her.
Oh, shut up and stay out of this, Liz. He raped her. He was out of his fucking mind. You have no idea.
She's just in denial, asshole. You don't understand the traumatic experience. She's shutting down, and she doesn't fucking trust you.
Yeah, she's crazy, you know. A crazy bitch. You know the type. She's fucked up.
That's not exactly a very pleasant way of describing someone who's not doing well with something. Cut the bullshit. She told me the truth.
Lawman, I'm at the end of my goddamn rope with you. I fucking told you not to push her.
His hands become fists.
And you went and pushed her. I am gonna fucking...
Hit you. Duck.
Oh, we need to duck.
Titus Hardy!
Her voice rings through the room like a warning shot.
Success. Titus backs off. Fists down, everybody. Goddamn, no one tells you to put your fists down.
No one tells us to not punch people.
Everard personally sent me to take care of this. If this goes south, we'll all be in the shit. But you, Titus Hardy, are going to be buried. Am I understood?
Someone has to rush in to break the tension. The second in command.
Look, Copper. We know that fuck was a rapist and a killer. We got him confessing to it on tape. Show it to him, T. What's the harm, right?
Here, jerkwad. Listen to this shit. And then come back and tell me the soldier of the apocalypse was an innocent man.
Oh, okay, alright. Where did you get this tape?
You think we go into this shit deaf and dumb? You RCM aren't the only ones who know how to bug people. There's no university degree for that.
So you've bugged him. How?
We have machines. We're in logistics. How do you think a harbor works? It's advanced stuff.
Understood? You've listened in on their communications. How long?
Since way before their chief started taking swing lessons.
Things got nice and quiet after that.
So, they were recording them ages before they decided to kill him. That makes no sense. Which one of you is doing this advanced radio work then?
It's not advanced. You just hold up in a coop all day, writing down what they say. It gets hot as hell in there.
Well, that's not a recording, is it? That's a transcript.
Don't put yourself down, Angus. It's important work.
The chief picks his beer back up to offer a silent toast.
Yeah, man. You're like a radio genius or something. Those notes are some in-depth stuff. Indexes and shit.
And why should I care about the tape? You lied to me.
You don't care about evidence. The fuck are you a cop for, then?
Pigs, T. They don't care about getting the truth. They care about getting convictions. They are fucking keeping a score on their bulletin boards.
I won't be on your bulletin board. If you don't listen to the tape, we got nothing to talk about.
Fine, in that case, that's enough for now. I'll get back to the investigation.
Don't forget your tape, lawman. Compliments of Titus Hardy.
Fine, I'll listen to it.
You do that. Oh, and keep it. Maybe you'll need a reminder of human ugliness someday.
Well, it's a good job that we've got that boombox. We'll be able to listen to it using that. That is something. Oh, wrong button. Let's have a listen to the tape.
The porter reel is just what you needed. The reels attach to the apparatus with a satisfying click. The tape is rooted behind the magnetic reader.
Play the tape.
You push Command Set, and the tape starts spinning. Violent static and machine sounds fill the air.
This isn't Revachol. This is a fucking village. I can almost see the elephants.
Another loud screech, some kind of machinery.
The harbor. That's the son of a Kvalson crane.
When this shit is done, I'm gonna tear that place up. Soldier of the Apocalypse style. Kill shit. Dogs and chickens too. Gonna run a room, Cordy. A real nice I don't give a shit. I'm fucking done. I'm done mentally. I'll fucking do them all in. Rape that disco cunt on the counter. You know, the dance a whore upstairs. Do it Kohoi style. Never did get that taste out of my mouth.
A click, then silence. The rest of the tape is empty.
The lieutenant presses the button marked Arrête on your portereel. The tape stops spinning.
Well, I mean, that is quite damning. He did threaten to do it. What do you think, Kim?
It seemed authentic enough. Probably recorded off the shortwave, then edited to seem more incriminating. He sounded like he was on patrol around the harbor walls.
He did say he was going to do it. You can't edit words into someone's mouth.
Indeed, but...
The lieutenant looks at the tape. You are familiar with this look now. It's his look of suspicion.
There's more going on here than we know.
What was that at the end? Sorry, at the very end. Silence.
End of recording.
Oh, well, I suppose that makes sense. Who's this Corty?
One of the other mercenaries, I think. The one he was talking to. A friend of his.
What's Cherhoy?
A village on the Samaran Isola, in South Safre. Grad committed war crimes there, the kind of thing he talks about.
You think he was there?
Who knows? Maybe the tattoos would have an answer. We would need to know the story of this man's service.
Okay then, what now?
I think we've got a few more questions for class here, don't you? This seems to contradict her testimony. At least to some degree.
Okay then. Before we do that, let's have a look at these dried maybells. They may give us some clues about her.
6 crumbling petals rest on your palm. They're white. A bell-shaped crown.
What is this, Kim?
This is the Insulindian lily, called maybells or Lucille's tears during the Revolution. Girls used to pin these on soldiers before sending them off to battle.
Does this flower blossom in the early spring?
Yes, but not this early. Not to my knowledge. It looks dried, preserved.
Is it a coincidence, it being on the roof?
Maybe. Maybe not. We'll see.
Alright then, very well. Put the flower back in your
The
pocket.
petals feel
Okay, alright, so we have an accusation of rape, a denial of rape, and then a person saying that they are going to do the thing. For all this talk of using the R word, this video is probably going to get demonetized. By the by, last video, YouTube said that it found some music on there that it was going to take off for me, so I could still monetize the video. And then for like a brief moment of it, it was just like pure silence. So, to be honest, I'm not too bothered about monetizing these videos. It's just for fun, innit?
I was just thinking, what a nice day for questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Yeah. So Titus Hardy gave us a recording where the deceased states his intention to commit rape.
She puts her coffee cup down with a soft ring as the porcelain meets the metal table.
Did he? I never said he was a good man, or that he had good intentions. Only that he was never bet to me.
On this tape, he specifically identifies you as the target.
Where did they get this recording exactly?
It's intercepted radio chatter of the deceased, recorded via the encryption station. It's authentic enough.
Does he say he's gonna do it Soldier of the Apocalypse style?
She arches her eyebrow. Those are the exact words he used.
Yeah. That was practically his pickup line.
She picks the cup back up.
A memory surfaces in her tired neocortex. It's not entirely unpleasant.
Did he say whores a lot? Was he pretty much on the verge of doing it Kohoi style?
Kohoi was mentioned.
He wasn't actually there. He didn't do a tour, or at least didn't tell me he did. Would have been overkill anyway. He lived his own little Kohoi. It wasn't his everything.
Ah. Why say things like that? Machismo?
Yes, was he bragging?
Oh no, I'm pretty sure he did all those things. Then integrated them into his idea of normalcy. To keep on living. Until they just sort of turn into his, what's the word I'm looking for?
Persona?
Running joke. I was gonna say running joke. And it sounds like you didn't even get the good bits. Lely's punchlines got way, way funkier than that. He was like the Seminoles conflict, the Kohoi massacre, and the 36 famine in Yezut all rolled into one person, then cast in Orani's ceramic armor, which he wore in bed and in the shower.
Ah. Weren't you afraid?
Afraid of what? That tape the Hardy Boys recorded? Your mother probably never told you this, but girls are evil.
I don't believe that for a second.
Had I the physical robustness and social support, I'd be in Kohoi. I would be tearing it up Soldier of the Apocalypse style.
Did he tell you he had actually done any of those things? He and Martinez, I mean?
No. We were too busy laying waste to our own nervous systems to direct any of the fury outward. He seemed happy, I guess. At ease. As much as a man like him could be.
There is a small measure of pride in her that she could quell the rage in such a being.
Thank you for clearing that up, miss. Whenever you're ready. I'm interested to hear what Titus Hardy has to say now.
She takes a very small sip of her coffee and smiles.
Okay. Alright, let's go. And so, him threatening to do lots of bad things, that was just him doing a running joke. Although, to be fair, running jokes to deal with trauma and the bad things you've done are a general thing that people do. I mean, me and my family, we have lots of running jokes about all the bad things that have happened in our family, so
it's you
I mean,
again.
more of an extreme version,
What
but we'll take it. So I talked to Class A about the tape. And nothing. She stands by what she said.
That fucking fucker. You're the worst cops in Revachol. I gave you gold on that tape.
It was dark stuff, but it didn't prove anything, and it didn't change her mind.
Dark? Dark is when you start a goddamn death rock band. He said he'd rape her.
He shakes his head in disbelief.
What did she have to say then? Fine by her? This is what people are supposed to be like? Fucking whoop-de-doo.
How do we say something that doesn't make her seem bad? Because she's also just a person just trying to get by in the world, isn't she? Actually, I think it made her a little... No, that'll annoy him even more. It did not come as a surprise to her, and she definitely wasn't scared.
Yes. In fact, I think she thought it was a little funny.
Funny? No good goddamn psycho whore. Alright. Oh, fucking righty then. I guess it's good then. That fucking...
Please try to control yourself in the presence of visitors, Titus.
Her voice is a bit softer than earlier.
This is just perfect. Just fucking perfect. Any thoughts on this, lawman?
Titus rubs his chin with his palm, as if trying to grind it smooth. I don't know. Maybe she isn't who you thought she was.
Nah, I know her. She's just a girl. In over her head.
She's not some helpless girl. She handled the mercenary well enough.
Handled him? She got into some stupid shit with that guy. Shit we had to take care of.
Yes, we heard all about it, and the fact still stands. You were more disturbed by the tape than her.
Be straight with me, Titus. What really happened?
I already told you. We fucking hanged him.
There's less gusto in his voice now. His men, too, are growing increasingly silent.
Come on, Titus. We know you didn't hang him. He was shot. I know you're tired. So am I. Why don't you just...
You know what? I am tired. I'm tired of you and the whore upstairs. Next time you see her, tell her Titus said, "Fuck on!"
He throws his beer can down.
That lying scamming. We're done. This is over. You understand? Your little investigation is over.
Ah, do we think that maybe Titus Hardy has romantic feelings for Classier, and this is why? Ah, maybe it's a jealous man who's covering things up as Union stuff, or maybe the other way around. Or ooh, this is confusing.
Yeah.
There's a silence in the room. Elaine starts saying something, then thinks best not to.
What is this quiet funeral shit? All we need is some beers in us. Bartender, 20 beers for the Dock Workers Union.
Why do we make it 40, huh? Why do we make it 100 beers? You're not loud enough.
100 beers? Now we're talking. Hoppity hop over here, cafeteria manager.
The window might be closing. The more beers they get in them, the less cooperative they will be.
Rhetoric. It's only 42%. Before we go at him, let's put our rhetoric clothing on. So I don't want to make too many mistakes in this one. What have we got? Anything in rhetoric? Absolutely not. Do we have anything that decreases our rhetoric? I've got -1 in rhetoric for our hat. If we just slightly take our hat off, all of a sudden we become a lot more articulate. I'm sure that's how it works. We've also got 2 skill points. We're going to have a couple of goes at it as well. Right, let's...
It's you again. What is it?
I'm not going to save. I'm not going to save scam this one. We're going to go in hardcore. Believe in our dreams. There we go, 58%. That's... If you ever go to a job interview and they decline to give you the job, this game just shows that all you need to do is just try again, but wearing a different outfit, and maybe they'll let you have the job. Convince Titus he is being manipulated.
Clausia is playing them like a fiddle. Tell them how bad they got played, and they'll tell you the truth. There are many ways to go about it. All of them really good.
Okay, we failed this one, so we need to do as little damage as possible. I know what's going on here. I've been wronged too. I got this fucking dark shadow over my heart.
What the hell are you talking about?
I got fucked by some chick. Fucked real bad.
Look around, cop. These men are dock workers. They don't want to hear about your psycho circus.
I don't know, boss. I'm always up for another suicide attempt.
Yeah, me too. I'm always up to see a cop cry.
You won't hear it. That's enough for the circus now, officer. Let's do procedural questions, or even, why not take a little breather?
These working class oafs don't know how to talk about feelings. You shouldn't have opened up to them, or anyone.
Oh, right, yeah, we go. Real men will keep our feelings locked inside. Okay then, let's increase the old rhetoric skill. Where are you? You are there. Level up once. Let's try again.
It's you again. What is it?
Right, 72%. Convince Titus he is being manipulated.
Convince Titus he's being manipulated? Bad idea. Bringing her up will do no good. You should know by now. Titus will never falter.
Ooh. One of his boys will. Of course one of his boys will. They don't have the iron heart of Titus Hardy.
Fat Angus, the powerful guy. Mr. All Muscle. The time has come. Put him in the pressure cooker. Just remember, it's about more than Clausia. It's about these men and Martinez. Their district. Their responsibility.
That's it then. Case closed. Look around. We're going home, Kim.
Huh?
Lieutenant raises his eyebrow.
He'll get it. Go on.
Write it down, Kim. In Martinez, they just kill you because they don't like you.
Got it. Kill you because they don't like you. All because...
let's have a look. Because of some chick.
Bring that up one more time, and you won't get to write that report.
Yes, I understand, Alain. That's your name, right, Alain? You'll kill us. That's what they do in the Wild North.
Ooh, let's tighten the screws even more. They just hang you, shoot you, whatever. They can't even remember.
It wasn't that. It wasn't. We didn't shoot him.
That's it. That's the weak one. You flushed him out. Now go in for the...
Officer, you will be next if you don't shut up.
The old man reaches for his belt, but his voice is strangely calm.
He's onto you. He knows what you're trying to do.
Turn to Angus. Oh, what? You're going to kill me like you killed him? For no fucking reason? Or should we let's look at Kim first.
The lieutenant has put down his notebook. His hand is resting on his holster. He gives you an imperceptible nod. What? What does that mean? Go for it. The lieutenant has his eyes set on the fat guy. Push Angus. We're almost there.
Okay, let's push Angus.
We didn't kill him. We didn't even hang him. He was dead when...
He takes a breath, wheezing.
Shut up, Angus!
He was dead before you hanged him?
Fatty! Say one more thing to the cops and I'll...
Dennis, stand down, or I'll beat your head in. Theo, take your hand off the belt. This isn't 31. I've got this under control.
Room falls quiet, so quiet you can hear Angus wheeze.
Angie, where's your goddamn inhaler? You sound like you're dying.
I left it home. I can't get it. I'm too fucked. I'm sorry.
Why are you so fucking fat, Angus? Now it's all pointless. Because of you. You wasted my time. I told you, Titus. I told you just give her up.
Lizzie, your help is no longer needed here. Go tell Everard.
Fine. I'll tell him. After a long walk along the coast.
She walks off without looking back.
What just happened between these two? You're in. He's all yours. Questions.
Oh, there we go. We've cracked it. We've cracked the nut. You didn't kill him. He was already dead.
He nods.
You hanged the corpse to cover up the real cause of death. The bullet in his head.
Another nod.
Why?
Because the girls asked us to. They were in some shit.
Girls plural? There's another girl? 2 of them? Take note of this. They'll probably say more about her later.
Did she kill him?
Cop, I have no idea. The girl says she didn't.
He doesn't think she did. Or at least he hopes she didn't.
What happened Sunday night?
Classier came down. She seemed really out of it. Drugged up, even more than usual. Bug-eyed and gurning, you know? Not in a fun way. It looked like she'd redosed after something went down. I've seen that look before. She was scared. I knew someone had died.
How did you know?
I've done this job for 10 years. I've seen it before. It's the politician in the motel room with the dead hooker scenario. Only in reverse.
Good analogy, boss.
The rat-faced man snickers.
You don't get to talk yet, Shanky. You're still on the bench. And you keep taking it easy too, Angus.
He turns back to you. What happened then?
We went upstairs. Sure as day the Merc was dead. There was a bullet hole through the window. Fucking dirty sheets and bottles everywhere.
He means they'd been fucking?
Tibbs patched the window. And the corpse. We hanged.
Who's Tibbs? The 8th Hardy?
Nah, he's my brother. He's in the window replacement business.
If Classier didn't kill him, why the cover-up?
You may have noticed our girl's in some shit of her own.
I didn't notice anything. What kind of shit are we talking about?
That can't show up on police radar kind. There are people after her. From the old world. Where she came from.
These people, who are they?
They're powerful. connected to the moral intern. She's clearly afraid for her life. Says if she showed up in your systems, she'd be ghosted away.
That's all he knows. That's all she's told him.
And why would you help someone like that? By taking on a murder?
Why would I? I guess we abide all sorts of runaways and losers here. It's a Martinez thing.
Okay, then, so who killed the merc then? Any leads?
Not yet. Just some ideas. She says the shot came from outside, behind the window somewhere. So that's a clue.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking someone's past caught up with them. Either hers or his.
Hers, you mean?
I mean the people after Klausya. Maybe the shot missed. Maybe it was meant for her.
I like that. Been thinking the same thing myself.
And you had ideas about his past too?
My dude. One of those mercenary buddies of his could have done it. They got guns, training, years of bad blood, probably. Or it could have been someone else from Crenell.
He pauses to think.
Tell you what I'd do. Check out the coast for vantage points. Maybe consult with a ballistics buddy of mine. That's what I'd do. If I wasn't too busy doing this clown dance with you.
Whose idea was it to hang him anyway? Hers?
In a manner of speaking.
Remember the two girls? He may be talking about the other one.
Earlier you said girls asked for your help. Was this the other girl?
That's right. It was her idea to hang him. I liked it for political reasons. It sent a good message.
It's her, isn't it? The drug trafficker, the missing 8th Hardy.
Fella, you think too much. He's off all right. You're gonna hurt your head.
A little too far there, but you're definitely right.
That woman is just affiliated with the Hardy Boys. You don't know her, anyway.
Understood. Can you tell me anything about her? Name, current location?
Nope. You're not getting to her. It's Klausya you want to talk to.
Alright then. Thank you for this, Titus. I'll go and talk to her for one last time.
You do that. Hey, cop. Before you go, Klausya, came to Martinez to hide. Many of us did. This is where you wash up when there's nowhere left to go. The Union takes you in. Now, she refused that protection. But
you would still prefer if we didn't take her away?
That's right. If we didn't take care of the people who end up here, this place would just be a couple of ruins and some cargo containers.
We'll take that into account.
The lieutenant slides his notebook into his coat pocket. He turns to leave. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, we've certainly found out a lot in that situation.
Rigorous self-critique. Here it is. Hard facts from the man you are. You once jerked off in the locker room and were caught. You held a young woman by the arm and kept her in your apartment for 20 minutes against her will. That's right. These are not flights of fancy. These are real deeds, Harry, emerging from the darkness of your past. You tried shooting a fleeing suspect in the foot, but hit him in the pelvis, crippling him for life. And, above all, you let life defeat you. All the gifts your parents gave you, all the love and patience of your friends, you drowned in a neurotoxin. You let misery win, and it will keep on winning till you die, or overcome it.
Oh gosh. So we've clearly done some bad things in our life, and oh god, we're not the good guys. We are not the good guys. We've got pain threshold increased to 6, a couple of other bits and bobs, but we're not good. And that phrase, what was it? All the gifts your parents gave you, all the love and patience of your friends, you drown in a neurotoxin, you let misery win, and it will keep on winning till you die or overcome it. Now that little paragraph there, that is not the shooting people or holding women against their will, but that last paragraph, sometimes I feel like as if this game is personally directing itself towards me sometimes. Okay, well, we'll talk to Glacier one last time, and then we'll end today's sesh, I think. One more time. Yeah, but this is a situation where no one's doing well. No one's doing well at all.
It's always good to see you.
She cracks a wary smile, leaning back against the railing.
Something in her demeanor has changed. She's tired, consigned to her fate, to being here with you and what's to come.
Okay. The Hardy Boys told us what really happened.
I understand.
She puts her coffee mug on the table. You don't look surprised. You were expecting this.
I knew there was a chance you'd get them to tell you. It's what you do. You're the police. For what it's worth, I'm sorry for wasting your time.
This is good. Clear the air first, between you two. Then move on to questions. Is it? Something is off here. Shush, I can't hear what she's saying. Let the miss speak. She's tall and thin and tired. A twig trying so hard not to break.
If you knew we would find out eventually, why did you waste our time?
Because of the Hardys. I couldn't just dispense with them. They were only trying to help me. Out of the shit I'd gotten into.
Is she implying the Hardy Boys are the law?
That's not a good enough reason.
You're right. There's more.
More?
You answer to the coalition government, and by extension, the moral intern.
She reaches for a new cigarette.
Briefly glancing over her shoulder to the sea, as she's done time and time again. A grand expanse of water reaches over the bay and to the horizon, golden grey in the noonlight.
What lies beyond it?
The Pearl, the Muindi Isola, the Occident, and then Aranye, the old world.
Is that why you're looking over your shoulder? You're afraid of the moral intern?
You share a database with them. You send people to their courts.
She lights a cigarette. What's going on? What did you do?
Just business. But bad business for some people in the moral intern. If I show up in your records, officer, they will find me. They will...
What happens if they do?
They will kill me, sir. If you file my name, take me in for questioning, enter me into the moral intern mill, well, then I'm fucked. For nothing. This murder didn't have anything to do with me.
What did you do to have these people after you?
It's not nice, but it's not illegal. Not here in Revachol, or even in Oranje.
What exactly did you do?
Industrial espionage. I joined a business collective with the intention of betraying them. I did my job well enough to be asked to do it again. With a bigger company. The kind you really, really don't fuck with. I took their ledgers, 2 decades worth of accounting.
I need the names of the companies involved and who hired you.
The job was Lou's-Duin County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're part of the Lou-Scop conglomerate. That was the second job. The first was some printer company. You wouldn't know them. As to who hired me for the job, I don't know. But they're after me too. Along with Lou-Scop and their friends in the MI. Once you're done in the competitive intelligence circuit, you don't have allies. You're radioactive.
That's a lot of shit you got yourself into.
It is. Many people lost their jobs. Not just C-suite. Ordinary people. What I did to get to accounting...
She shakes her head at the thought.
A lot of people got hurt. But that's just more of my shit you shouldn't have to deal with. You're solving a murder.
What happened here, the night he died?
We were there. Together. In bed, I mean.
Tell me exactly what happened.
Okay. He was in a kneeling position. He had just entered me. I was on my back, looking at him. I heard the window behind me shatter, and I turned to look. There was a hole in the glass. I turned back to him. His eyes were looking through me, and his mouth was open. Dumb. I could see. I could.
Her chest rises and falls with each word. She keeps herself together and says it.
I knew he was dead. Before he fell down on top of me.
Then what happened?
He was heavy. I pushed him off and he fell to the floor. There. He only had his boots on. I bit the pillow, not to scream, then ran downstairs.
There's a long pause. She just stands there, her arms at her sides.
I waited for the second shot to come. For me. I thought there would be one. It never came.
We're going to need more details.
She looks down with a wince. Her cigarette has singed her fingers.
I know that might sound a bit forward and a bit, but I think we need to remain as neutral as possible for this.
She throws it away and immediately proceeds to light another one.
What time was this? When did it happen? It would help us if you could be as precise as possible.
11:30 to 12:15. I don't know the exact time. Around midnight.
It's okay. Were you inebriated?
Not as much as usual. He'd done a line, plus other things. I was drinking.
Wait. Titus said she was gurning her jaw off, much more than usual.
Titus said you looked pretty high.
Oh, yeah. I did one of his lines, just to clear my head.
Good thinking. Clear your head. You should clear your head. Get into his mindset.
No electrochemistry. We are not doing speed, or super speed for that matter.
Did you hear or see the shooter in the course of this?
No.
What did you do then?
Nothing. I was trapped. I was stuck in my room downstairs. I got some clothes on and crawled back up, drew the blinds. Blood was coming from his mouth. Not a lot. Just a little. He was still on the floor, slouched. I couldn't be there with him anymore, so I ran down and out of my room, into the hallway, down the stairs. I knew there would be people there.
When it happened, did you hear a gunshot?
When he was shot? I may have. I don't know. I couldn't hear anything over the glass exploding.
What happened after you ran downstairs?
Sylvie was tending the bar. A lot of people were there. The Hardys were at the table in front of the stage. I think the Union box was full. Ruby was there too. They were having such a good time. I sat down and they all welcomed me. I didn't even have to say anything. Ruby knew something was wrong.
Ruby?
Before we continue, who is Ruby?
Ruby. You know, the leader.
The leader? Ooh.
The leader? Of what?
The Hardy Boys.
She says as if it's self-evident. I thought Hardy was the leader of the Hardy Boys.
Well, nominally, yes. Ruby's the one they go to when things happen, like things they need taken care of. She's the organizer.
This Ruby, in her phrasing, is entrusted with great power. She trusts her. So do the others.
Would you say she is the 8th Hardy Boy?
Why not?
Okay, let's go on. What then?
Well, Ruby said let's talk upstairs. I showed her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation. That I can't leave a paper trail. Ruby was the first one I told. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know. Take care of things. I helped her get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower. To keep him upright.
To produce lividity, matching a hanging?
Yes.
We completely missed the tampering. Looks like you got there in time. What was this, 20 minutes after death?
Oops.
About 20, yes. Ruby explained it would make the blood... You know what he does.
She looks at the ground, then raises her light brown eyes to meet yours. Then what did you do?
Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lely in the bathroom. I had to put his clothes back on. His armor, too. It was tough, but I've seen him take it off and put it on many times. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. I'd gotten him ready by then. They carried him out. I knew what they were going to do. Make it look like a hanging. Ruby said they would.
What did you do while they were hanging him?
Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while, that we should lay low or something. So I did.
This Ruby, where is she now?
I don't know. I haven't seen her since.
We will need to take this question to the Hardy Boys.
Well, it's clear that she didn't kill him. Could the people after you have killed him?
That's the first thing that went through my head when I heard the glass break.
And...
I thought they'd found me. They've killed him to punish me. All last week, I've tried not to talk to anyone or be seen with anyone.
She looks at her cigarette.
So they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me.
Either way, something to consider.
We can't go after Loose Cap. Not yet. There are other, saner leads.
I don't ask you to, Lieutenant. If there's one thing I know, it's that you'll get nothing from there.
Why did you call the cops if you were hiding?
Because I'm an idiot.
The answer comes fast.
Which is an indicator of truth.
I don't think so. Why do you think you did it?
You have to understand, the people around here, no one was making the call, and he kept rotting. And then they picked his clothes off, and that little fucker threw stones at him. He kept throwing stones at him for 3 days. I could hear the thud. Thud. So I called you. I hope with all my heart it's not the last thing I do in Ravachol.
She definitely called the cops. That was task complete. It could not have been a lie. That is impossible.
We know when the windows change. It's kind of fairly obvious. Okay, I think we're done here for now.
She nods, silently. She doesn't even smoke. Just picks up the cold coffee and holds it in her hands.
Lieutenant glances at you, then the door.
He's thinking, are we done here? Or maybe you should take her to the station for safekeeping. She lied to you, and she's a flight risk. No, that won't be necessary. Just leave her alone. She's been through enough. She doesn't need this police brutality. Multiface, I'm beginning to doubt your judgment. Are you sure you're not sleeping on the post? You have to wake this one up with force if you want to continue pushing her.
Okay. We have options. We can... We've got some levels that we can do. Let's... We can either look at her in the eye, ask her to wake up. I mean, we may as well give him a go while we're here. In God's name, wake up.
But we are awake, sire. She has been forthcoming with sordid details women usually conceal. Most shocking details of the sexual kind. We are a bulwark, unbreached. Get a hold of yourself just once, will you? Try to look past the sexually lax morals and do some police work. So you say, but give us one example of deceit. Just one example.
Well, one example of deceit, she's been lying to us all this time. Just a proposition, could the lure of explicitness conceal something less sensational, but more illegal?
Who is this personhood picking these seditious options? Can't you see the detective grows weary of your malcontent? Stop staring at her eyes and say something pertinent to the case. This is making you look like an amateur. It looks like this one's not waking up. You'll have to do it without pushing her further. At least for now.
Okay, let's look into her eye.
She looks back. Time moves slowly. The triangles of her face rearranging into a weary smile. Don't worry. We will protect you from her beauty. We will consult you through the reefs and sounds of her persona. We will see through deceits. You are shielded. You are wise. You are advised. There are muscles on long white bones that line her limbs, just below the silver jumpsuit.
Well, let's avert our eyes.
The strange moment ends. It was brief, no longer than 2.2 seconds.
Okay, let's return to this later. Let's see if we can... Have we got any more skills? We've got 1 skill point. Let's pop that into drama. Accept and change. Any more drama clothing that we have? -1 to drama, so we don't need that. Put our hats back on there. That's something. Anything else that's minusing our drama? No, let's give it one more go.
I was just thinking, what a nice...
Who? What? Dear God, you've been lied to. She could have killed her lover and lied to everyone. She's not candid at all. She's smoke and mirrors and will-o-wisps. She probably didn't give you her real name either. Why would she? Arrest her immediately before she further entangles you in her web of lies.
Let's go for... Your real name isn't Classier Amandau.
I agree. You wouldn't give us your real name, not when people are after you.
Okay.
Okay, what?
Okay, it's not.
Good. You could tell me the truth.
You log your work every week. It's all transmitted to Common, sir. I couldn't just beg you not to enter my name. So I lied.
Like I lied before. Like I did at LCSB. I have to lie all the time. I'm so tired of it.
Tell me your real name.
It's Katarzyna Elysium.
The smile on her face is timid, almost painfully so.
Could it mean Glazia is an allacronym for Katarzyna Elysium?
Finally we meet Katarzyna Alanzier.
She nods. Her round eyes meet yours. They seem moist from the wind on the roof.
Enough.
She nods, her back straight, ready for whatever is next.
You know, I think you didn't make that call to the station.
I did. What is this? I called your desk or whatever it is. The numbers are all over town. Call 8-100-2 for emergencies. There was an older woman on the other end. It sounded like she was smoking. She took my complaint. She coughed.
That is the emergencies desk number. Anyone could know that, sire, by looking around and calling the desk. I don't believe a single word she says.
What time did you make the call?
Thursday night. It was late, sometime after 12.
It checks out.
Anyone could know the number, and that someone coughed. It means nothing.
But I know the time of the call, too. I know I have not been 100% truthful with you, officers. But I am now.
Tim, why have we not arrested her yet?
There may be grounds here. At least for an extended detention.
A little whimper. The young woman hears you. She's looking around.
What if I told you you're under arrest, Katarazine, whatever your name is?
But I haven't done anything. Anything illegal.
Failure to aid a police investigation. Fucking mind games. Enough. That's right, gang. Stern and merciless now. Stern and merciless as we reel her in.
I don't feel comfortable with arresting her, purely because she has helped us with some things, and I don't think... I mean, we've got evidence that a bullet came through the window, hit him in the back of the head, etc., etc. She could have been stood outside and shot him in the back, but I assume their romantic engagement's based on what Tex Hardy was saying. I believe that is a real thing. But she has lied a lot, and she might be continuing to lie. And, I mean, she might know where Ruby is for all we know. This is a difficult one. Failure to aid a police officer, you have wasted our time in a time-critical investigation. Industrial espionage, no, we won't get her in on that. Go on then, failure to aid a police investigation, you have wasted our time.
The lieutenant produces a pair of handcuffs.
Please no.
Her eyes become round with fear. She tries to back off further.
I think I know who did it. Who shot Lely. I can tell you. I can help you.
What do you know? Who shot him?
She's silent for a second, as if looking into herself for certainty. Then, in a hushed voice, she says, gearing up for this betrayal is hard for her.
Ruby.
Oh. Okay. And how could she have killed him?
She could have had access to the roof. You've noticed that door there, right? Maybe it leads downstairs. She could have come to the roof through that, then taken the shot right here, where I stand. It was dark outside. I wouldn't have seen her.
Then slipped back downstairs without anyone noticing. That is possible.
Interesting theory. Did she know that door exists? Had you been out there with her?
Yes, of course. She's been up here many times, jacking private stations off the ring antenna. She used to come here to drink on the roof with me, before it got weird.
Why do you think it was her?
She has this thing for me, ever since I met her and the boys downstairs. She's been pretty frank about what she wants.
God, this lady's quite popular with everyone, isn't she?
What she's saying is... sex.
And what is that?
Sex. And more. I made the mistake of confiding in her. I told her I was on the run. She started protecting me. It became an unhealthy relationship.
Oh, so you identified the whole being protected by someone as an unhealthy relationship, but snorting lines with some dude and banging him, that is... Meh.
When I started spending time with Lely, she told me to end it. Said there would be shit if I didn't. It was not a good meeting. We stopped talking after that, but...
I don't understand. What exactly in your relationship made you think she's romantically interested in you?
She said she's in love with me. She even asked me to run away with her when I told her I'm a fugitive. She started developing notions about our relationship.
And you led her on?
The lieutenant narrowed his eyes.
A little. I was flattered, you know? But then I had to let her off, and it was not easy. I came to regret being friendly with her. We maybe kissed, nothing more.
Sounds like she was fixated on you.
This is just an assumption.
I know what it sounds like. That's why I didn't want to tell you before. But she knew what had happened when I came downstairs. Somehow, she knew Lely was dead. She wasn't surprised at all. When we came up here, she was calm as a stone, too. She cleaned it all up like she had a plan.
That is a little strange. People don't usually keep things together under stress like that.
When Ruby said that there would be shit happening if you didn't end your relationship with the deceased, was she threatening you?
She came over one night, drunk, said she'd turn my life into a living hell. I've been threatened before, so I can tell when someone knows how to do it. And she's a pro. She must be, to keep the Hardys in line. I tried severing ties with her after that. I thought it had worked, but...
She looks for the window of her room.
Some of that fear is still with her. She exhales sharply. What are you talking about? She's afraid you'll arrest her.
Okay, that's it for Ruby.
Okay, and what? Arrest the liar now. Why? She told us some pretty interesting things there. Don't arrest her. Push her a bit more, but then let her off. That Ruby theory was solid. And she's beautiful.
Oh, all of a sudden authority is being a little less thingy on the authority because this lady's quite pretty. Who?
Her. Stop letting her distract you.
There we go, Volition, thank you. Let's keep on pushing. Let's keep on going for that. That's all good, but I think we should still take you in, just in case. Step a little bit closer.
Still? After all this, sir, please. It's a shitty world, and I know I'm shitty too. I know.
Her hand turns into a fist, slowly crushing the cigarette she's still holding.
But I don't deserve to be sent to the moral intern and ground into paste just because I disturbed the sanctity of accounting. That's some multinational
She's gearing up for a last stand. This is it.
What do you deserve then?
I don't know. To spend my days with smoke, drink and dance, wallowing in shit. Just like everyone else.
What other option do I have?
You have those station calls, right? Where I have to show up at the station or I'll become a fugitive. You can write me one. You don't have to take me in right now. I promise I won't go out anymore at night. I'll be right here. I know you can do that. Just let me come in on my own. In 2 months, or maybe even 1 month. That's all I need.
I do have a form.
He looks at his notes.
By God, she's playing him too. Like a fiddle, sire. Who would have known?
What will have changed in 2 months? Or 1 month?
Everything could change. This city, the extradition rules, the people after me could be in jail. Or maybe Revachol.
He falls silent.
There is desperation there, in that silence. A cornered animal looking for a way out.
Maybe Revachol could be free. I could be tried in a free Revachol. An independent state that doesn't hand its detainees over to the moral intern.
I find that hard to believe, miss.
The handcuffs jingle in his hands. This has got nothing to do with anything.
I know, but...
He doesn't know what to say.
The political gambit has failed.
I've made my choice.
She looks at you in silence, her face filled with fear, lips parted. Wait. If you arrest her, Kim will have to transport her. You'd be without your partner for the rest of the day. Shut up. He's making a decision, and it's his to make.
It is quite sad. It is quite a sad situation. She's clearly... What's the word? Repentant of the things that she's done. And she's not... I mean, she's living in like a sad environment, but... Is she repentant because she's actually sorry for ruining people's lives? Because remember that she did say that loads of lower level people did lose jobs because of her stealing the ledgers. And those people have got like families to feed. They've got situations in their own life that's been ruined by what she's done. Still don't know if she is speaking in the entirety of the truth, although her story does kind of check out quite a lot. I mean, we've all been in bad situations where we all could do with a second chance. But she's got no loyalty at the moment. She's got no one to actually look after, so she could just go off the map again. Kim, arrest her before she drags this out any longer.
I will escort you to the motor carriage outside, miss.
With a muffled whimper, she extends her wrists. They're white, bony, exposed below the rolled-up sleeves of her jumpsuit.
This won't be necessary. I will take you to Station 57 myself and slow the extradition process as much as I can. It may be possible to stall it indefinitely, but you will be safer there for the purposes of this investigation.
He turns to you.
I can do this on my own. She's not an immediate flight risk. See you tomorrow morning, officer. Downstairs, at the Whirling in Rags.
God, well that was some difficult choices being made there. But I think ultimately, while we might not have made the right choice, like we say, our main focus here is solving a murder, and that is... Anything to do with solving the murder is the right choice, I would say, as difficult as that is to accept. But cool, anyway, we'll end it there. If you want to spot the old Patreon, £1 a month gets you 1 extra Dawn of War game a week, and all the usual gubbins. Managed to be Mr. Landshark, pleasure as always, and never a chore. And I will see you in a bit. Peace!